Day 776 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 1344, angle between hands of a clock. The difficulty level is medium, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go on and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given two numbers, hours and minutes, return the smaller angle in degrees formed between the hour and the minutes hand. Answers within the 10 to the negative power of the actual value will be accepted as correct. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple at first, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we're doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input hour equals 12, minutes equals 30. That means on this clock it is 12:30. And remember, we want this smaller angle, right? It says right here, we want the smaller angle, right? So this right here, boom. We want this acute angle, not this side of the angle, not the obtuse angle. We want this angle right here, the smaller one, right? Boom. So in this case, the angle is 165. When it's 12:30, we have a 165-degree angle, right? As you can see, it's almost 180. 180 would be a straight line, but it's not quite 180 because this 12-hour hand has started moving to clockwise already because we're at 12:30. So with that being said, this is a 165-degree angle, this angle right here on this side. So that's why we return 165. Now, just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 2. So in example 2, our input hour equals 3, minutes equals 30. So it's 3:30, right? So this is the angle we want, this angle right here. The output is 75. That means this right here, this angle right here is a 75-degree angle. As you can see, it's almost a 90-degree angle if it was straight, if this line up here was still at 3, but it's not. So it's a 75-degree angle because this line right here is already started moving clockwise because we're at 3:30. Boom. So just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 3. So in example 3, we have our input hour equals 3, minutes equals 15. The output is 7.5. So that means this is a 7.5-degree angle. As you can see, we have the hour hand right here, minute hand right here. They're almost on top of each other, but not quite. And this is, in the end, it's a 7.5-degree angle, y'all. So, boom. I hope that makes sense to y'all. And now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Now, first thing we need to do is we need to calculate the absolute difference between the hour hand and the minute hand angle. So the minute hand moves 360 degrees in 60 minutes, and we divide 360 by 60. That means it moves 6 degrees per minute. Then the hour hand moves 360 degrees in 12 hours. 360 divided by 12 equals 30 degrees per hour, and that also moves to 0.5 degrees per minute as the time passes. So we'll come right here and we'll say let angle equal ABS for absolute value. We're going to pass in 5.5 times, it's going to be a double, open up the parentheses, minutes. Boom. Come outside of that, we'll say minus 30.0 times double, open up the parentheses, pass in hour. Boom. Now the two angles are formed between the clock hands, so the direct angle and then the larger angle going the other way around would be 360 minus angle. So we're going to return the smaller of the two. So we'll come right here and we are going to say return min, open up the parentheses, 360.0 minus angle, comma, angle. So it's going to return the smallest, whichever one is smaller. And that's all she wrote, y'all. That's all the code. So let's give it a run. Make sure it runs correctly before we submit it. It's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So With that being said, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.